Once you're an adult, Christmas never really lives up to its promise. It all seemed so magical when you were little. OK, so Tressie's hair didn't really grow and Santa turned out to be an out-of-work actor with bad breath, but now it makes us, well, more grumpy than usual.
We all have memories probably of one or two at the very most great Christmases from our childhood, which admittedly we weren't having to cook, we just consumed. We consumed presents, we consumed food, we consumed snow and jollity and Santa, and it was all fantastic, and we managed to turn a blind eye to the fact that our poor stressed parents and relatives were actually about to pass out.
By the time, it got to sort of carving the turkey, my mother, sort of slightly menopausal by this time, with an electric carving knife, not a good combination. Carving the turkey, but looking at all of us. She could have gone for any of us at any moment. And I, obviously, because we all turned into our mothers, this is what has happened to me.
You've spent most of December ricocheting between tears and throwing plates at people, some with food still on. And now you bring out the plate of homemade mince pies. And everyone looks fed up and like they can't wait to get back to some hair straightening or their computer games. And you're all supposed to be having such a jolly time.
Families are a very interesting dynamic. You get a group of people in a room who are related to each other by blood, and then you know that it's going to go terribly downhill. And of course, you introduce any kind of wine, port, rum-flavoured eggnog, whatever your background is, and it's all going to go downhill.
People who haven't seen each other for the whole year suddenly find themselves in each other's company with no prospect of escape because Christmas dinner takes so long to get on the table. They're drinking, and within a couple of hours, the thing that everyone's been trying not to say gets said, the unforgivable thing. And then it's, in my experience, in my family, it'd be on for young and old. There'd be tears well before bedtime, people running up and downstairs and doors slamming and all that kind of caper. Oh, please. And all with party hats on. I mean, Jesus.
What you've got to remember when you're seeing Christmas on an advert is these people aren't related. They're paid to be nice to each other, And the reality of a proper Christmas family is, bored teenagers texting under the table. And there's always one trying to get drunk, really, really drunk. And then there's the coughing baby. And then some old relative that's kind of lost it a bit.
The worst thing about Christmas is the emotional turmoil and the guilt. Because I'm crying at carols and I'm a Jewish atheist. I'm squandering all my money on luxuries, useless luxuries, and really half the world's got nothing and I'm meant to be a socialist. And then I'm eating and cooking turkey and I'm meant to be a vegetarian. So I'm just upset the whole time, really.
I always think you're more susceptible to crying at Christmas, and it's got nothing to do with actually what you're watching or what you're seeing or whatever. That's the catalyst for all the stress. So when all your relatives arrive, you can't sort of go, oh God, all my relatives are here. So you channel it into something that you're watching on the telly.
One Christmas, a couple of girlfriends spent Christmas with us for some reason, and then the kids were playing with their toys and my husband was out of the room and he came back to find 3 grown women sort of completely uncontrollable with tears watching It's a Wonderful Life. I'm going to cry now if I talk about It's a Wonderful Life. And he goes, I thought you'd seen it before. And because we have.
At Christmas, you probably remember the people that aren't with you anymore. But in my case, John was so ghastly at Christmas, I can't honestly say that I moved or miss him at Christmas time. I'm actually quite glad that he's not around moaning and grumping. But, of course, I miss him, per se.
The grumpy old men seem to be oblivious as usual. They found some football on the telly and taken the weight off their feet. They lounge about like they do every Saturday afternoon, except that they don't usually have stupid paper hats on over their comb-over.
I become very feminist at Christmas because I do pretty much do everything. And, my husband will only have to say to me something like, where's the brandy butter? And I'll go, and it would be, well, of course, you wouldn't know where the brandy butter was because you never do anything around here, do you? It's always left up to me. You just sit around. And he's like, all right, love. Yeah, I do become a bit Linda Blair, swivelling head and green vomit.
Some nice wholesome party games will cheer everyone up, while some of the time away, and we oldies can get even with everyone else and thrash them all at a game of Old Maid or pea-sucking or charades. The kids look super fed up. These days, children just don't know how to make their own entertainment.
Anderson B. Six words. First word.
Seems a bit sort of pretentious and Nancy Mitfordish at your own home. Time for games.